What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of FlagPlus Football's First and Goal podcast, episode number 2 for the winter season. I'm Brent Bodkin.
And I'm Quaysie.
All right, so this is episode number 2, and literally the second part of episode number 2. So in this episode, we will be doing all the women's divisions, all the co-ed, and all the 5v5. So let's kick it off. We're going to start with women's 3. So division again, a lot of new teams in this division, a couple returning teams, but teams that are trying to find out what works and then trying to eventually work their way up. Maybe Division 2, possibly Women's 1 in the future. You never know. I'm gonna call it out right here. There's a team so we're looking at before we went to air here, before we press record or before Ali Reza press record. Shout out to Ali Reza. We talked about Lioness, you and I, Quaysie, and it's a team right now. They are struggling. 12 points combined over the first 3 games of the year. It's getting late early for this team to coming off 38-0 beat down at the hands of A-Town last Saturday. I know we were looking at the stats, looking at the rosters. It's an all rookie team, so you want to give them a little bit of leeway with that. But again, 12 points total over 3 games. You ladies got to step it up.
Okay. It froze for a second. But no, I completely agree with you. The fact that you only scored 12 points in the last 3 games, I feel like you got to score at least 12. I think they need to score more touchdowns. Defense is something you can work on, but I feel like you have to take your focus into one thing. Either we're gonna focus completely on defense and let teams score less points, or we're gonna focus completely on offense and let our offense score more points, right? Because as you said before, all these girls are rookies. It's their first time in FPF. Maybe it's their first time playing flag too. You never know. Some of these girls, you probably maybe played in high school and then you kind of want to get back into it. So it's been years that you haven't played the sport in a while. And in some cases, that is the situation, right? And I think one of the biggest issue is that you try to improve 2 sides of the ball at the same time, right? So you're like, okay, we got to work on defense, we got to work on offense. A lot of the times, it's to a point where you got to focus on one thing, and most of the time, it's offense, right? You wanna score points. Defense comes, but I think offense is the point where you kind of want to score points. You want to make sure you got good play calling. You want to make sure everyone's on the same page. Good snaps, good balls, good placements, good play calling. So I think for them, it's something they're going to have to improve on, something they're going to have to work on. The schedule doesn't get easier for them either, right? I think the bottom 2 teams in this division would probably be, I want to say Demonics.
Yeah, Dynamics. They're playing each other this Wednesday.
I want to say it's them, but I don't think that's a bad team either. It's a school team. CCL, so Kala Shah Lemoyne, I want to say.
Yeah.
So I think it's a high school team. It's probably like a Sec 4, Sec 5 team that they're used to be playing 7-on-7. They're just getting some extra practice in before their season starts for their school team. So, I mean, I don't think they're going to be a bad team. I'm sure they're going to have a coach. I'm sure they're going to have play calling. It's to a point for a team like them, their biggest issue is like it's just the talent wise, and they're just playing better. They're bringing better teams that have more practice. So I want to say they are one of the bottom teams, but I still think they're going to put up points, and it's not going to be as easy as you thought it could be for a team like Lioness to play in that game.
Yeah. Again, like you said, they're taking on the Dynamics this coming Wednesday at Sadie Bear. So I mean, Dynamics are 0-2, Lioness, like I said, are 0-3. So hopefully someone gets a W, gets off the schneid. Something else I want to call out here. So again, ladies, I said it earlier. Well, for the episode 1, I said it about one of the 6-on-6 male teams. Same thing for the ladies. Practice. You guys got to get practice, whether you're a school team or not. Get a field. Find somewhere to go. Like just get a gym. I've lost team. I used to have my team. We practice at a gym. It's a lot cheaper to rent in a field. Get some practice in because again, I understand you're new, and that excuse will carry you for a little bit. But I mean, listen, you're it's a learning experience, but you gotta score some points, and you gotta surely some signs are getting better, right? Because going 0-10 is no fun at all. No one wants to go 0-10, and that really kind of dissuades people from coming back in future seasons. So now's the time. You're 0-2, sorry, 0-3. It's not the end of the road right now. Not saying you're going to make a playoff run or anything, but at least get some practices in, get some scrimmages in, go on the Facebook group, right? Holler to some other teams. Like, hey, we want to scrimmage, we want to get better. And I said it for the guys earlier. Ladies, same thing. Reach out to like a Sarah Parker. Reach out to Allison Sobel. Reach out to any of the veteran quarterbacks in this league. There are tons of quarterbacks in this league, male and female. Reach out to them and just ask them for plays. Ask them how they call the plays, how they see the field, how they see the game, what works, what doesn't work. And same thing for defense, right? There's a lot of great female players who are on the defensive side of the ball in this league. Go and talk to them. Don't be shy because again, yeah, you're a new team, but that's only gonna like that excuse is only gonna carry on for so long, right? I mean, we're almost at the halfway point of the season. You can't score 12 points over 3 games and be taken seriously. So now's the time to kind of pick yourself up off the ground or off the turf, so to speak, brush yourselves off, get to talking, talk to some of the veterans, some of the leaders in this league. And second half of the season, let's see some improvement.
Mhm. Um, let's go to a kind of interesting fact for this week. We only had 2 games. We had Lioness winning 38, losing 38-0 to H-Town, and we had Les Hibou playing She Sparks, where She Sparks took 26.
Yep.
Well, She Sparks won 26-19. So I just want to say, for my interest, fact is the fact that She Sparks is starting 2-1. Again, they've been in this league for I think 3 seasons now. I feel like they're getting better and better. It's kind of cool to see their sidelines. They have like maybe 3 or 4 coaches that are there
Yeah.
that are helping them out. It seems like they film every game too, so I'm not sure if they exactly have film studies or kind of highlights, but they kind of I feel like it's going to good use, you know. So just a shout out to them. I feel like they're just going to get better every year if they keep getting at it, and it's always nice to see a new team kind of putting the effort and the time to get better.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, and that's what it is. Like, I can tell you from personal experience. I used to film all my games, not even my games. We would film my team and I. We would film our opponent's games. So let's say we're playing on a Saturday, and our opponent who we're playing the week after is playing on a Wednesday or a Thursday before. Well, you go and you record the game. You record the game, have film study. We always hang out at either my house or my buddy Alex or whoever, and it's time film study. We made a championship based off of just because we took impeccable film and we would practice. So we'd have scrimmages. We would rent the gym. And the summer season, we go outside to the park. Obviously, no one's going to be doing that now. And if you want to, have at it. But yeah, you just go outside and you just get better. You got to hone your craft, right? And yeah, just that's the way to do it.
No, for sure. Talking about filming that you're kind of saying, I remember I got lucky enough. I think it was the semis. I forgot what team we played. I don't want to say too much, but there's a team that we played, and we kind of watched their 2 point converts, and we had a lot of
Yeah,
games filmed on them. I remember I literally ran. I was playing defense, and I ran the exact route the receiver was running. Like had their 2 point
yeah.
convert. I basically ran what he ran, but in a defensive position. I literally just picked off the ball, and it was a 2 point convert. But it was the fact where I kind of knew where the ball was going before knowing that, and that's because I kind of looked at the film. So it can make a big difference. Going into week 5 for these 6 teams. So we have Lehibo playing Spartans back to back. So they play January 31st and they play February 2nd, and then we have Lioness versus CCL. So game of the week. I mean, we have basically only 3 games, and out of the 3 games, 2 teams are playing each other at the same time. So I would assume one of them would be Lioness versus CCL. You have the bottom, the 2 teams playing, and then you have Spartans that are 2-0 right now playing Le Hibu. So playing back to back too. So kind of the point: are they gonna share 1-1, or are Spartans gonna win both these games? It's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm in accord with you, if you will, over that. One thing I noticed, so that I know we kind of already did this already, but like, just looking at the schedule, A Town, talking about one of the top teams in this division, their last game was the 24th of January, which if I'm not mistaken was last Saturday. And yeah, so they knocked off. Well, yeah, they knocked off Lioness, like I said, 30-0 last Saturday. Their next game is not until March 2nd.
Mm.
So that is 37 days. I did the quick math. I know you love your math quiz, so you can tell me if I'm right. They're playing Lioness again, but 37 days later. So I want to call it the schedule. So Chief, so Buddy Match, former teammate at Concordia, he's a schedule maker here. Good dude. But the schedule is ridiculous. There's no reason why a team should have 37 days off.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
it's a big jump.
That's just, yeah, it's just ridiculous. I can understand 17 days off, and that in and of itself is shouldn't be happening. But
Yeah,
37 days
that's a
off,
lot.
that's like a month and a half off between games. That shouldn't be.
That's like when you're going, you're literally, you feel like the season just started. Like when you
And
go
then you
back,
feel
you're
like the
like, oh,
season's over.
this feels like,
Wait,
you feel like you feel like the game that you had is like the finals, and then you're
yeah,
starting a new season coming back.
yeah, 100%, 100%, yes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
and then so they come back. I'm looking at it here. They come back on March 2nd against Lioness, and then they have like basically they have like three games over the course of 9 days. They have Lioness again on March 2nd. March 8th they have Dynamic, and then March 11th they have the Spartans or the Spartiats. Like something needs to be done with the schedule. Listen, I understand people put in their preferences, that gets factored in. People play on different teams, that also gets factored in. But you have almost a month and a half off between regular season games. That's a joke. We got to get better here with the schedule making. Shout out to Chief, by the way. Chief's a great guy, but schedule, bro, come on.
37 is a
We can
lot.
do.
Going into it, power rankings: women's three. At number one, Spartans. Number two, A Town. Number three, She Sparks. Number four, Lehibu. Number five, CCL. And number six, Lioness. Basically, yeah, those are the top six teams. No changes. Women's two.
Yes, sir. So women's team, looking at it right here, we got like three games coming up this week. Powerpuff, Cavaliers, BDEB. Got Saturday, Brassard. Monday, we have The Rock against La Sorority. And then Wednesday, February 8th, we have the Bolts taking on The Rock again.
Brent, I have a
Two
question.
games for The Rock. And sorry?
Before we start going to stats, we start talking. Do you feel like Chaos should be a team that should be in Division One women's?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Do you think, like, because
Yeah.
at this point you're playing Turf Titans, you're beating them 58-6. I
And they're
feel
getting
like
nothing out of
every
it.
single team that they're going to be playing, they beat the Rock 34-18. They beat Villa 20-0. I feel like they're probably going to go undefeated. I don't see them losing a game unless Allison decides to throw four picks. And even at that, I think the defense will still bail her out. I just think it's to a point where they're gonna have to jump. They're gonna have to make the jump. They're gonna have it's
Yeah, they're gonna have to. I mean, you look at it, right? Okay, so yeah, you have Nomads. Nomads, they're 2-0. They beat the Rock and they beat Cavaliers, BDEB. Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, let's be real here. Chaos. You look at the roster. I mean, so there's a veteran team. You look at the Wolfpack. Wolfpack has been around for a while. The Rock, I believe it's the second year, but they have a lot of veteran players. Okay, that's fantastic. Right now they're sitting at 0-2. Let's be real about this. Valhalla, Dream Killers have been around for a while. They have some talented players, but they're no match for Chaos. Like this, honestly, Chaos. And I know Allison watches our podcast, so shout out to her for supporting the podcast. But let's be real, this team should be playing in Division Women's One. Pardon me, the Women's One division. Will they? I fully expect them to not just win Division Two, well, Women's Two, pardon me, but to dominate Women's Two. I'll be very disappointed if they don't win a championship because they're talented enough and they have a lot of skilled players at every position to get that W and to get that chip. But playing in Women's Two is like a colossal waste of time. I think. I think this team should, pardon me, they should push themselves. And to their credit, they tried it a couple years ago to play in Women's One, to play against the Sub Zeros of the world,
yeah,
to play against a lot of these top teams.
yeah.
But this is before you had players like Gigi and Emma. I think Gigi wasn't even playing in the league at that point yet. Emma, I believe was, but this is before they became like really go-to dominant players in their own right. You know what I mean? So like it's their skill players for Chaos have gotten better. They're a deeper team, right? As well.
Yeah.
Speaking of Chaos, I think it's We should have that whole relegation and upgrade thing like they have in soccer. I don't think we should wait till the offseason. I think in midseason, Jeff needs to be like, hey, you know what? Let's put these teams in because it's the same as last year. When people were complaining last year about like the Mavericks teams and that and how they were playing, I think it was
Three.
the pardon me?
It was cool. Mavericks was quad 3. You're saying?
Yeah, they were playing like in the lowest lowest co-ed division, in the lowest women's division, and people saying that they should be bumped up, and rightfully so. Yes, they should have been bumped up. I know Gino DeFazio was like, "Oh, well, we tried and we offered, and that's neither here or there." Mid-season, we look at this roster. Like, I'm going through the names right now. So Rochelle's back on the squad, right? You have Rochelle, obviously Lemise, one of the captains. Gigi's there. You have Heidi, who's like a longtime player. Maryland, longtime players. Coralie, who's solid. Noemi hasn't played yet. Noemi Adam Oma. But I
Yeah, but
mean, you
they would
have
lose if they go Division 1. They would lose Naomi because she usually plays
yeah.
with
So
like.
yeah, they would lose Naomi for
But
sure, right? Because she's with the U of M crew. But I think, and well, Rochelle plays with Sub Zero.
I don't think she's playing with Sub-Zero this year. I'm not sure. I didn't see her on the roster.
But we can check that out right now. But okay, either or. Okay, so let's say for argument's sake, right? You lose Noemi because you're right. They would lose Noemi, and you would lose Rochelle. Let's say for argument's sake, I'm gonna check in a second to see if she's on the Sub-Zero roster. My apologies, I
She's
haven't
not.
checked yet.
She's not on the
But
roster.
okay, so yeah, well, there you go, right? So you lose one or two players from their team. And yeah, you're right. So looking at it, yeah, you're right. Yeah, so okay, Rochelle's not even on the squad. So Rochelle would stay with her original crew with Chaos after playing for Sub Zero last year. You can't tell me with a roster of Rochelle, Emma, Lemise, Geraldine, Marilyn, sorry, Gigi, Marilyn, Heidi, Coralie, and Leah. Like I'm not sure if Leia's on the team full time. She played one game so far, but she's tight with Emma. You can't tell me with some of those players they can't play women's one. That this is a joke. Like
No,
this is a
definitely.
women's one team, women's
And
one
then you
talent, women's one talent. Let's go.
and then you go to the talk, right? They're like, okay, well, it's the point where we don't want to play versus powerhouse teams the whole time, right? But would you rather
Get
play versus?
better. That's
Would
such a
you
lame
rather?
argument. Get better.
Would
How are you
you?
gonna get better
Would
by
you?
playing against like teams that are gonna dominate all the time? Where's the fun in that? Get
I
better.
think the
All it
only two
is.
teams are probably because to be honest, with you, I think they're going to destroy Dream Killers. I think they're going to beat them by at least 30. Um, I think their
Yeah.
defense is way too good. I maybe Wolfpack will kind of give them a challenge, but at the end of the day, whenever Chaos plays Wolfpack, they beat them. Like I don't know what it is. Chaos
Exactly. Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah,
always
yeah.
have
Yeah.
they always
That's it.
have their number. And then you have Nomads. Okay, they're good. I just think Chaos is more of a veteran team, and when it comes down to it, it's
Better team.
5v5, right? They get an advantage. Nomads is a 7-7 on team. The field is bigger. You don't have all those. You don't speed doesn't help as much in 5v5 regarding go sideline to sideline. And Chaos
Yeah.
defense
Yeah.
it's they're good enough to be able to shut down a player like that. So I think a jump has to be done. It's to the point where okay, you're gonna play winter. You're probably gonna win, and if you don't, I mean, you probably finish. You maybe lose in the championship, but I don't see them getting knocked out in semis or
To
quarters.
who? To
Uh,
who? Sorry. Who's Chaos losing to in the championship game in women's two? Let's be real here. Let's be
to
real.
be honest, no
Who do you
one,
see them losing to?
no one. I don't think they lose at all. But
Exactly.
I'm saying worst comes
None.
to worst, if they do lose, it's going to be in the championship. It should be in the championship. I don't see them. I don't see
None.
them losing before that, right?
True.
And again, if
Yeah.
they do lose, it has to be because Allison throws at least 3 or 4 INTs. Like they just have to have a horrible game. Gigi's dropping everything. Emma's dropping everything. Like if they lose, it's because they lost. And even at the point, it's the
Right.
point where you're the better team in general. But I think a
Mm.
jump is going to have to be done either this summer or next winter. And next winter, you can't tell me Chaos is going to be playing women's two again. It's going to be
Nah,
it's
that's
going to be a
ridiculous.
point.
Nah.
It's going to be the Geno effect at that point where he's trying to sneak teams in certain divisions. We're going to have to call it the Allison effect or something like that. But we're going to have to make the jump. I know it's the point where the big difference when it comes to Chaos and other teams is that other teams are practicing, right? You have Matrix, Chaos, all these girls are practicing. They're getting all those reps. And Chaos,
Mm.
a lot of these girls they're not, some of them are not playing for a school team. So they don't have the practices. They're
They got
working.
full-time jobs. They're adults.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
100%. Like,
But it's
but
to a point
you
where
still find time to practice.
you're still going to improve every single week when you play versus these teams. You're not going to get worse. There's no way
That's
you
my
get
point.
worse playing against better competition. You're going to get better. So
That's my
just
point. That's my point right there. When I say get better, Girls are phenomenal. Most of the players on the team are like really great players. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying you get better by playing against these better teams. And they know this. They're not dumb. They all know this. They know this. They're not new to FPF or competition. A lot of them played at Vanier. It's a former Vanier team, right? They're not idiots. They know this. But again, my issue is just okay. You look at Sub Zero. Yeah, Sub Zeros are still the cream of the crop. Cayenne's obviously always in the mix. Matrix, right? Yeah, Blue Pal, the U of M team or former U of M team, and then yeah, well, VNO actually hasn't played yet. But I mean, you can't tell me hey, it's five teams. It should be six, and that six teams should be subs. Pardon me, should be chaos. Like it's enough is enough. Like ladies, all y'all can do this. You can compete. Are you gonna go 10-0, 9-1, 8-2? Probably not. But you're also not gonna go 2-8, three
Yeah,
and seven. I highly doubt
I
that. Are
think
y'all really
I
talented enough, skilled enough, smart enough, serious players? You guys should be in women's one, 100%.
I think they I don't I maybe I'm just maybe I'm wrong, but I think they don't realize that they will win more games than they expect that they're going to win.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They're not going to go 2-8. I mean, they did it a couple years ago and they struggled. I forget which year it is. I apologize for that. I forget which year they played in the highest women's division and they got beat up. They got smoked
Yeah,
in
but that's
most
the
games.
first time.
That's why
That's
they
the
dropped
first
down.
time them playing in that division. You know, I don't. Again, you adapt, you get better. You're not going to get worse. You know,
That's what I'm
even but
saying.
even if you go 2-8 or 3-7, you know, at least you beat some of those good teams, and it's to a point where we could do this. You know, like let's run it back. Let's try to win more games. Let's show everyone like who we are, and we should be in this division instead
That's
of
it.
playing women's two, beating teams by 30, 40. And yeah, it's all fun in games and stuff like that, but it's to a point where
Practice.
yeah, I feel like I don't know. I find that they
Practice.
need to make that jump by next winter, even
But no,
summer.
by this season, no, not next winter, by this season. By this season, I'm going to call out Jeff Rosenblatt. Get chaos in women's one where they should be. We have five teams in women's one. We can easily make it six. Right now, I'm looking at the playoff breakdown. You can go 0-10 and still make the playoffs because all five teams make the playoffs. We've had our conversations about that. You can agree to disagree on should all the teams make the playoffs or should there still be some elimination? Yeah, let's cut all this. Let's get chaos. They're talented enough. Those ladies are all ballers. Get them into to women's one and have them play against the Sub Zeros, the Cayennes, the Matrix, Blue Pod, obviously, and Vino, so on and so forth. I would bet money on Chaos finishing at least 500, I think, in women's
Yeah,
one because
well,
they are that
exactly.
talented to do that.
I could definitely see them beating also Blue Pawn and Sherbrooke Vito. I think they're around the same level. Like I think they definitely could steal at least two games from both of those teams. But yeah, anyways,
100%.
that's something to definitely that should be changed. Okay, women's two. I I'll let you continue what you were saying before. You're kind of we kind of
Yeah,
could just
we can wrap it up. I mean, okay, so games of the week, I guess we can get into what game
yeah,
you're looking
just yeah.
forward to the most.
Tell me something that you're excited for this week for the games of the week. Something that's kind
Okay,
of
so game of the week, I'm looking at the Rock again. I talked about them before, right? They're a veteran team. Some of these girls I've had a chance to talk to a bit, like over the last couple of seasons. I think they're all good people, and I'm always rooting for them because I think like this is a team that they just not to say they need more experience because a lot of them have been in the league for a long time. I just think that as like a group, as a unit, as a team, I think that they should be better than what they are. And again, offensively, okay, they lost 18-6 in week one to Nomads. They lost to Chaos 34-18. But again, that's a veteran Chaos squad that they put 18 points up against. So I think it's heading in the right direction. They have a big matchup this coming Monday night against La Sorority. So I'm looking for this team again pardon me in uh, the Rock here to kind of get their act together and get a W and kind of get out the schneid here.
mhm. Okay. Sorry, I was just actually looking at the roster. They actually changed, so they're back with for the Rock. They're back with Cajolan Menard.
Yeah, Menard's quarterback. Yeah,
She's back at
right.
quarterback for them.
Yeah, so it's not Orly DeRoche. Right? Emily DeRoche.
Yeah, Emily Duashe. I believe
Yeah,
she's
Emily
actually
DeRoche.
She's actually expecting. So congrats to her and her boyfriend.
Oh, really? All right. Well, congrats. All right. All
She's
right. And I forget her boyfriend's name, but he plays in FPF as well. So
I
congrats to
think
them.
it's
That's
Sheila.
awesome.
I think her boyfriend's name is Sheila.
No, he plays FPF. 100% he plays FPF. I've seen him before. All
Yeah,
right. Okay. So but looking at the squad, so they had Kayla Gauthier. She's a vet. She's a baller. Chippy, Chantel Chippy, most people know her by. She can ball. She's great on both sides of the ball. Like there's some players on this team. I expect them to hopefully start racking up some wins here. Like I said, big matchup coming up against the sorority this Monday night at Saudi Bear. So we'll have to see how that game shakes out. And then the Rock back in action on the Wednesday. They're taking on the Bolt, so that should be a pretty good game as well.
yeah. Sorry, I just need to see something. Give me one
And I'm also looking
second.
forward to Chaos getting the boot from women's two to up to women's one. I'm looking forward to that. Jeff Rosenblatt, make it happen. Ben McMahon, gentlemen, make it happen.
There you go. So rankings. Top go over rankings for the top 10. So number 1 we got Chaos. Number 2 Wolfpack. Number
Asterisk
3.
besides that.
Sorry.
Put an asterisk beside that Chaos ranking.
Number 3 Nomads. Number 4 we have a switch. We had Vilhava where we're pitting Supernova.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5 it's going Dream Killers. Number 6 we're going Valhalla. Number 7 Old School. Number 8 La Sorit.
That's
ET.
sorority.
Number 9 Cavaliers, and number 10 goes to the Bulls.
All right, here we go.
All right, that's it for the women's 2. So let's go to women's 1.
Yeah, we've been talking about women's one, so like you said, let's go there. Sub Zero, perfect 2-0 on the season. Cute to some players, but that's why we don't want to go Division One because Sub Zero's. Anyways, joking, not joking. Um, Sub Zero, big victory over Blue Pond. High end with a tight victory, 33-32 over Matrix. So
Yeah.
that game
So
actually really stood out to me last week.
I score kept that game. It was very interesting. Kind of just go into it because one thing I do kind of love about women's football, and I'm not saying it's not the same thing for men's football, but it's just like their community is so small when it comes to just them. Like FPF it's a big community, but everyone's like super friendly with that. But like the women's community when it comes to flag, especially when it comes to that group, so you have Matrix, Cayenne, Sub Zero, Bupon, like I would say also Sherbrooke as well, but like more of those girls I feel like Matrix, all those girls kind of know each other and they played with each other. It's like the fact where they're playing against each other, but it's still like fun and games, like they're still talking, they're still communicating. Like there's no bad blood within the game. Like they make a tackle, it's like
That
good
is
job,
true. That
compared
is
to like
true. That's true.
men's one divisions, men's division 1 or 5v5 competitive. Like we know each other, right? But at the end of the day, on the field, like we're not friends. Like I think everyone's kind of the same way. Like we're not friends on the field, but after the game, we're friends. We're like, oh, like that, like whatever, like what's
Yeah,
up.
100%. Yeah,
But
100%. Yeah.
women's, like they're friends. Like I don't want to. Like, they're friends on the field as well too. Like oh, good flag, good catch. So, but also it's
Right.
because
Yeah.
most of them are teammates. Like to a point where
Right.
like they kind of really know that person compared to how men is like after the field, everyone's chill. Like we do have bad blood for some guys. Some guys just don't like each other in general. But and it kind
Yeah,
of
of course. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
so it kind of comes on the field and off the field, same ways. But so I was watching Cayenne play versus the Matrix, and like it's the point where I want to say the player was I think it was Anna Tyresa Legas. I think she was actually no, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. 1 second. It was on.
And tires legacy or legacy.
No, there was a player that got hurt. Let me just look at the
Okay.
roster here. I think she plays on the Matrix. That's for sure. I know that. So I'm not exactly sure what happened. Michaeli Azar. I want to say Michaela Makali Azar. The roster for Matrix. So I believe maybe she popped her finger, she sprained her finger. Something happened to her where I'm not sure if she rushed to the hospital. It wasn't as bad where like the ambulance had to come, but she did leave the game. So she got hurt maybe 5 minutes in the game, 10 minutes in the game, and all the girls kind of stopped the game. They all went to her. Some of them checked to see if she was okay. The refs are kind of like, "Hey guys, kind of get this going." They're like, "Oh, no worry, like run the clock. Like we don't care. We want to make sure she's fine." So after that happened, like the competitive kind of dropped down, and it was more like they're kind of just like they had the quarterbacks playing defense. They're doing trick plays. Like it was all fun and
Okay,
games.
okay, okay, okay,
It was,
okay,
like
okay.
the thing is, it was still competitive, and it wasn't like they were fooling around to a point, but it was still competitive to a point where it was still good flag to watch. And then it came
Right.
down to Cayenne gets the ball, Matrix scores, goes for two, they don't get it, so they're up by 7. So if they got for two, I think the game would have been over. Or they're up by 7, some such like that. Anyways, Cayenne scores, they go for two, and they win the game to that point. But anyways, it was just something where one thing I feel that's pretty cool that their community is small and they're all friends, to the end of the day with
Right.
a lot of them are teammates, Team Canada teammates as well too. So I found that's pretty cool how they're able to kind of still keep it friendly to a point where like yeah, you're supposed to be competitive when you're playing versus someone, but they're still able to like kind of look past that compared to men where to be honest with you, it's not the same thing. It's like unless you're really good with that friend, really really good with that person, so you're probably cool with maybe one or two guys in the field, and the rest of the guys you kind of just don't like or not like, but you're kind of not gonna be as friendly. It could catch
Yeah,
to
yeah,
the point
yeah,
where
yeah.
like I feel like other teams are scoring and they're like everyone was kind of cheering for them.
Okay, okay, so okay, so I have a theory about that. It's not really a theory, it's stuff I've seen. I know so I called it was U of M against McGill. I did hockey, it was last Sunday. I think it was Sunday. Saturday? No, it was Saturday. No, sorry, it was Friday. Sorry, last Friday. So hockey's a small community like flag football, right? If you're playing, especially as you know, right, from coaching, right? If you've played somewhere, let's say for in this case, university, right? And even for the ladies that play flag, university, you've played against some of these players numerous times
Mm-hmm.
from the time you get to university or in some cases college. You played against them in midget, you played against them in badminton, whether it's hockey, whether it's football, whatever the case may be, right? And for flag, peewee, especially for guys, peewee and badminton, all that stuff, mosquito. And the same thing applies right in flag, right? And I know when I do hockey games and I call men's games in hockey, and you can't fight in university hockey. I mean, I think maybe you should be able to a little bit, but again, sportsmanship, they don't want that. With student athletes, it's not professional athletes, where yeah, I could drop a couple $1,000 to go to the dentist to get some teeth replaced or whatever. So obviously, you don't want to fight. I understand why they don't. Sometimes I think sometimes you just got to punch somebody in the face. That's just my opinion. Um, but these games are brutal. Like the cheap shots after the whistle, the elbows to the face and stuff like that. And there are some punches thrown. People usually get roughing penalties, and then if it escalates, you get kicked out the game. You get suspended for a game for fighting in hockey university. I call women's games as well, and they are physical. I'm not going to sit here and try to lie to you and say that the women's games aren't physical because they are. I see some cheap shots. I've seen some elbows thrown as well, some checks from behind and all that. But there is more sportsmanship, pardon me, in ladies sports and female sports. I think some of that, and it's not the fault of the woman per se. I think what it is, and I could be wrong, but just it's my opinion. Um, some of that I think is the way we're brought up, right? A lot of men are be tough. There's no crying in football. There's no crying in sports. Suck it up. Like don't shed any tears if you're hurt. Doesn't matter. Keep on playing. Whereas females, I think, at least when I'm a lot older, right? So like when I was growing up, you didn't see that many females playing sports. But now that you do, and I think it's phenomenal to see that, more sportsmanship is kind of encouraged. And I've heard some, like I've been on sidelines for a Sub-Zero game. I've been on the sidelines for a lot of these female teams. They are more supportive of each other.
Yeah.
But I also have heard some trash talk. I've been on the sidelines for the chaos games, and I'm saying I'm going to say that I've heard Allison talk a lot of trash about other teams, and I've heard Lemise talk trash about teams.
Yeah. But also,
I've
I
heard
feel like,
Merriman talk trash
yeah,
about
okay.
teams. I'm not saying anything out of pocket here. I'm being honest, right? And I think some females are able to keep up with that, like fun. Hey, let's all go and like you said, cheering for the players, and even throw on the other team. And I've seen the opposite of that. I think that's just kind of the way we're conditioned. And I think for females, for them it's unfair because if they're seen as being the aggressor, as being not sportsman or ladylike for lack of better terms, I think they're looked at a certain way, which I think is extremely unfair because athletes are athletes. It doesn't matter whether you're a man or whether you're female. You're here to play a sport. You're here to be the winner. You don't want to go home the loser, so to speak. I think it's just the way we're looked at differently as males and females, and the way we're brought up, right, as males and females. Sometimes it's a little different. Sometimes it's not. I think that could be. And again, I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV. I just think that might explain why when you see some of these games, just in the women's divisions in FPF from 1 all the way to 3, you will see more of that sportsmanship and helping players up and maybe taking your foot off the gas a little bit. Where we see with the guys, where we both play in the men's divisions, and we see it's. I'm not friends with anybody when I'm playing on the field. I hate your guts when I'm playing against you on the field. After the game, we'll say what's up. We'll dab it up, in the parking lot. In the Sheen, obviously, when I was open, we'll grab a beer after and hang out and whatever. But it's a little bit different. I think it's just the way kind of society looks at people, not specifically athletes, but just how they look at females and how they expect them to act, and how they look at males and how they expect them to act. Now, if you
Mhm.
want to get at me and say, "Oh my God, it was horrible what he said," I don't think I'm seeing anything wrong here. And again, I fully support female athletes and I fully support male athletes. I think the more people playing sports in general, this is an amazing thing. I think all people should be playing sports. Get those kids outside, get them off the video games and this all day long and on their phones. Get them outside and playing, and so at a young age. And I'm obviously I'm black. I'm a black Canadian. I'm an African Canadian. I believe in equality through and through. But again, I just think it's the way that society has socialized us and the way that we look at or how we look at males and females when it comes to sports. It's a little bit different, and I think that kind of spills into how females and males act sometimes when they're playing sports.
Yeah. No, I completely I understand what you're saying. All right. So that was said for Matrix Cayenne, Sub Zero, big win versus Buffon. Going into week 5, we get to see Sherbrooke, Vetre et al. They get to
Mhm.
play Sub Zero and they get to play Matrix. It'll be the first 2 games of the season. They get to play back
Fantastic.
to back. So they play at 12 and 1. So I
Yeah,
mean,
all right.
they
There
basically
you
play
go.
the best two, one of the best. I mean, every team is good, so it's kind of get to see how they're going to do versus 2 top teams. If they do bad versus Sub Zero, maybe they could make it up versus Matrix. So it's gonna be nice for them to kind of see. I think that's going to be the 2 game of the weeks on my side. I think that's something that's going to be very interesting to see.
All right, yeah, I fully agree with you on that. I mean, I like the schedule. Like you said, it's going to be a good test for the very all right. I believe it's the first season here. It's a good way to kind of not even get your feet in the water, just jump right in, right? Do a dive, or do a belly flop right in there, and test out the waters and see what's up. But you can't ask for bigger tests than that. Uh, for me, I think game of the week though was interesting. Cayenne again big victory over Matrix last week. They're back in action against Blue Pound. I mean, Blue Pound they got smoked by Sub Zero, like I said earlier, right? 31-7. And then you have Sub Zero back in action. They're taking on the Matrix. So for me, I'm gonna say I think I'm gonna roll for my game of the week with the Matrix taking on Sub Zero for the simple fact that Matrix is coming off a heartbreaking 1 point loss to Cayenne. Let's see if they can rebound now, taking on Sub Zero, who many think are the best team in this division. And we said earlier, right, for all the women in women's 3 that are watching, still keeping their eye on this podcast. I mean, we talked about your division about 10 minutes ago. This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm saying. Go talk to some of these quarterbacks, some of these female quarterbacks, especially here in Division One. You got a ton of them who are personable. They will go and talk to you. Sandrine Gobet-Huot, Elizabeth Ashkar, right? Sarah Parker. These are the best of the best in this division. Go and talk to them. Get your team better and get your game better.
Just doing the power rankings. Everyone's one, Sub Zero number one, Matrix number two, Clan number three, Blue Bond number four, and Sherbrooke at number five. And then we
There you
could
go.
go
Sounds good to me.
into co-ed three.
So, okay, go ahead for you.
Co-ed three. Um,
Schedule, yeah, just like couple games coming up this week. There's three on
yeah,
Saturday,
so
one Sunday, one Monday.
yeah. So co-ed three, and for week four, anything spoke to you? Anything you liked? Anything you didn't like? Upset? Like
Um,
that?
again, like I'm looking at it, right? I've been saying it. Even I said it in the first half of the podcast, right? With the men's divisions, like a ton of blowouts. Like Dream Killers blowing out Vicious and Delicious. Steelers blowing out Fatties. There's Padawans beating Le Vieux Gnu 33-13. There's a couple of close games actually at the end. Enzo Cartel with Shaquille Oatmeal. I like that name a lot again. Show Me Your TDs knocking off Hot Dogs by six. So two 6 point games right there. And the last one, yeah, not a blow up per se, but 26-14 for the Flamingos over Catch My Balls. So couple blowouts, a couple close games. Again, you just want to see these games get a little bit tighter, especially here in co-ed three.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Okay.
process though.
Mine was just the fact that Dream Killers won 40-25. So they keep their perfect record, 4-0, kind of leading the division, and then going into week five, I like this. I like. One second. Why is it? Why is it not opening up? For my game of the week, I have no. Never mind. Do you have a game of the week? My thing's not opening up. I don't know. I don't remember which one I picked.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, sure. So looking at here, again in this division, like 20 teams, right? So it's a lot of teams. Uh, I was gonna go honestly with Vicious and Delicious against Shakira 2.0, but I wanna make it a bit more challenging. Pick a little bit better of a game than that. I'm gonna go with You Touch It, You Catch It, taking on Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay.
So one team is 2-0, and You Touch It, You Catch It. Shaquille O'Neal 1-2 right now. So we'll have to see if Shaquille O'Neal can get to 2-2, or if You Touch It, You Catch It can move to 3-0.
Yeah, exactly. There's not, to be honest, there's not a lot of top teams uh, playing this week. Well,
No,
yeah, that playing versus each other, so it's more like top versus kind of like bottom. But yeah, that's something I would choose as well.
yeah,
Power rankings. As again, we have for quad three, number one, End Zone Cartel. Number two, Padwan Pod
Padawan,
Wang.
yeah,
Number three,
Padawans.
Dream Killers. Number four, Shakira 2.0. Number five, Pick Artist. Number six, Shadow Squad. Number seven, You Touch It, You Catch It. Number eight, Steelers. Number nine, 149ers. And number 10 is Flamingos. And
All
that's
right.
what we have for women, for quad three. So
Yep.
we go to quad two.
So two. Two. Looking at it now. So week five, only four games actually this week. That's a little different the week before. There was a
Yeah.
plethora of games. The week before there was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's about 9 to 10 games last week. Only four this week. Two Saturday, and two on Sunday.
Yeah. So I'll just kind of say what I wanted to say before. For like usually it's one game to kind of look at, but me it's I have four games, fast and simple. Tea Party winning 44-0 versus Les Grands Chums, which is kind of
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Venom winning 29-26. Venom is a very good roster. That's going to
Yeah.
be a very scary team going down the line. They have really good athletes, and they have Paul Lapierre at Q over there. So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes down. No pads, no helmets, just balls beating Michael Scott Tots 37-6. I found that's kind of crazy. And then Block
Yeah.
Party beating Party Mix 48-6 is also kind of that was kind of shocking to see as well.
I had a chance to watch a bit of that game. I was scorekeeping, and they were playing on the field next to me Saturday afternoon in Broussard. And I was like, oh, block party, block party. It wasn't a usual block. The block wasn't out. Not everybody from the block was out, but they had maybe a couple of houses here and there. And yeah, they were live, they were rowdy. It's always great to see. Yeah, beat down. Yeah, like you said, of by 40 points actually, sorry, by 42 points.
Yeah.
Party mix,
No,
bit of a surprise right there.
there's no reason for Party Mix to lose by 40 points. And
Yeah.
my game of the week is going to be Sour Patch Kids versus Venom as well. Just put that in
Okay, okay, you're wrong with that. Okay, okay. Hmm. Sour Patch Kids and Venom. All right, I was rolling for me. I was looking at Kamikaze, and we thought they were We thought, yeah, we thought they were snacks. It's a battle of three. We thought they were snacks. Kamikaze seventh. I think Michael Scott's toss. They kind of got a rebound after that beatdown they took. They're the number 8 seed right now. They're taking on back that pass up. Who was number 5 seed. So a lot of teams in the top of the standings going head to head this week for
Yeah,
week five. So I'm excited about that.
yeah, exactly why the rankings are pretty close to what the seedings are. Mixology at number one, Venom at number
Yeah.
two. They made a big jump. I like Venom. I didn't, to be honest, I didn't know how good their roster was, but I got to watch them play in Laval, and they're gonna be a team where coming down the line, you're not gonna want to play them in the playoffs. Block Party is number three again. For the past couple seasons, Block Party is kind of showing why they're a good team is the fact where like they're always in it. I don't for some reason now I don't see them getting blown out. They're always in it. They're always playing in it. So good for them. Number four, we thought they were snacks. Number five, no patch, just helmets, just balls. Number six, back that pass up. Number seven, kamikaze. Number eight, Michael Scott Tots. Number nine, Sour Patch Kids. Number 10, Shark Attack. So we have a couple teams playing this week that are in the top 10. So we're going to see how that goes and how the standings are going to be able to switch.
Let's go to
Um,
quad one.
yep.
So this is going to be short. There's only one game going on in quad one this week. It's the Merge 2.0, who are 2-0, rightfully so, taking on like Gerd de Tuc, who are 0-1. So it's going to be Alex Zaliski taking on Marc Andre Reeves. I think two of the fastest and dynamic quarterbacks here in FPF. I'm looking forward to that game. Again, like it took only one game so far played this season. Like I said, they're 0-1. They fell 52-34 to Silly Geese back on January 10th. So they've had some time now. They get it to kind of lick their wounds and get back on track. And so it should be a good game, an exciting game, like I said, against the Merge this Sunday in Shady.
Yeah. And then last week we had Silly Goose taking on Plenty of Fish, where Silly Goose kind of just that team's gonna be scary too. They just added Emerson too. I heard they're playing full time. So you have Emerson, Gab, and you have Ben, and you have Kevin Wyatt. And then on girls you have Emma, Gigi, and Rochelle. And I don't think they have an there. I don't think they have a fourth girl. I think they're just three on that team. Yeah.
Serious
So
team.
and Jessica is a rusher too. So I mean, the best
Yeah,
thing for them is the fact
yeah.
they can have Ben, Gab, and Emerson all on offense, and they can have Jessica pretty much elite rusher to kind of get that advantage to have three guys on the field and be able to take up way more space than you would if you had a guy rusher versus three females. Well, on playing coverage. So that's going to be a scary team. And then again, you have Kevin Wyatt at Q. So it's going to be a scary team to beat.
And I think it's big, right? Getting Jessica Bussey tapping, obviously, of Sub-Zero fame as a rusher for the squad. I wonder if she'll try to push Emma and Gigi to put chaos in women's one as well. She should. I'd be talking if I was her, I'd be talking trash all the time to those two. Division
um,
dodging. It's what it is. Division dodging is a thing. For those of you new to FPF, that phrase hasn't been thrown around in a while because obviously the cap has put a stop to a lot of that, but it still happens. Division dodging and
yeah, you don't see it. You don't see it as often, or it's not talked
yeah.
about. Because to be honest, with you all the top teams, like you have the infantry that jumped up. They had the switch with Kevin Wyatt. They kind of merged with also Montreal Finance. That kind of happened. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but like you don't see a lot of teams that are just not going up. I think the next team that's going to have to do is Idaho U the Pimps. Uh, Brady is going to probably be the next team that's going to have to go up. But again, they kind of have some roster situations. No, I think they're actually fine. To be honest with you, I think they're actually fine. I don't think they have
I
anyone that's
think they're fine. Because I
But
think if I'm not mistaken, they did it a couple years ago. I think they played Division One, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was tier one. Might have been tier one.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, Tier One. Yeah, okay. So that's a nice logical step. Brady can throw in Division One.
Yeah, it just it
Brady,
the biggest issue. It's always because you have multiple players playing
yeah,
on Division
very
One
true.
already. So it's the hardest thing to do. But now I don't like.
Yeah,
We don't. I don't. I think I don't. I don't think we called a team out recently that haven't made that jump. Like I don't think a team has been called down. Like, oh, why is this team playing in this division? You know?
yeah. Well, chaos. We just did.
Yeah, no, I'm saying other
Yeah,
than
I'm joking.
other than
Yeah, I got you. I got you. I got
other
you.
than the
I got
chaos.
you.
Especially, yeah.
I'm trying to give out the rest of another clip there. I know what you're saying. I got you.
um, so for the rankings, Code One rankings, at number one, Silly Goose. Number two, The Merge 2.0. At number three, Lego My Flag. Number four, the IG Team. Number five, Les Girls de la Toupe. Number six, Fit Squad. And number seven, Plenty of Fish.
All right. So let's jump to
Um,
the 5v5. Go ahead.
co-ed, yeah.
Looking at it, so looking right now, this is the quarterback ranking. So I mean, you have Sarah Parker, who has the most touchdown passes and passing yards. So congrats to the goat, Sarah Parker. Jeff Rosenblatt second. So I mean, yeah, Ben's in there, right? Guillaume Ballon is throwing full time. Tam Valley, definitely. We talked about him last week, right? About his team. He's throwing in Division Three. Not sure how that could happen, but also throwing here in the 5v5. Had a chance to see him. Still fast as heck. Watched this game last Saturday down in Bassard. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. That's for me actually what's caught my eye in this division so far. Just the quarterback play, and it's been really solid from a lot of different players. A lot of known names, obviously, that it just rolled off my tongue. But you look at like Marc Andre Riedre is in this division, Jonathan Mayu, Alex Nadeau, please. Like there's a lot of good quarterbacks in this division, and I expect this to be maybe the most entertaining division. At least maybe not in all of FPF, but definitely out of the 5v5 divisions, this
Yeah,
co-ed
no,
division right here, I think it's
I
really good.
completely agree with you. To be honest with you, there's talent from up to bottom. You
Yeah,
have pretty much, I think, every single good female. I don't, no, okay, well, let me rephrase that. A lot of good, talented female that are playing co-ed 5v5. A lot of big names that are playing it. Some girls that are representing Team Canada. Some girls that should be
yeah,
representing Team Canada. Even for men too, right? You have the Joe Meyer, the what's his name? Alex Nadeau Pease at quarterback as well. You have
yeah,
players like Anthony Brisebois. You
yeah,
have
Breeze, yeah,
Emma.
exactly. I'm gonna say,
You
yeah,
have you
you got
just
Breeze
have
in there.
names. You have Joe Meyer. You have all these names.
Yeah,
That
Laurie,
are
he's in
playing.
there.
You have all these names that are playing in this division. You have Leah Dorval, the rusher that plays for Cayenne, Team Canada rusher. Just you have so many names, right? So many good players, so many big players. So this division is packed. It's kind of nice to see 5-on-5. It's a bit different than 6v6, so it's so nice to see. And then I think, to be honest with you, other than Team Rocket, that's kind of struggling. I think that's probably the weakest roster. Um, just because they don't have a true quarterback, I don't think Bilan is a true quarterback. But I like his play calling.
No,
We
yeah,
played them we played them on Monday, I think, so a couple days ago, and they were, to be honest, we were losing 19-0, and he was just using his legs. He had the concept of going under snap, getting the ball, uh, basically getting the ball under snap, getting a player to get the ball under snap and tossing it to him. So that means he's eligible to run. So
right, right.
he's able to use his legs because he had a good concept. He had a bunch of good concept. So I think they're gonna be fine. They're 0-3 right now, but I think everyone makes playoffs, so nothing to worry about. Um, yeah, everyone makes playoffs. So again, I think at this point you're just trying to get better every single week. It becomes 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6. So there's no buys. So I think, to be honest with
Yeah,
you, like, you don't want to play a number one seed, but again, like, you don't. It's not as bad as you think because everyone's just super super good. So that's also cool to see. And yeah, it's this division is
but
definitely going to be fun to talk about. The games are going to be fun to watch, and I'm very curious to see who's going to come up on top.
Let me ask you then about a team. So you're talking about a team that's struggling. Another one is Nice to Meet You. They're 0-2. Tough loss week one, right? They lost to Gundam 45-41, but then they got smoked by Sarah Parker and AT's and dummy, sorry, 31 to 14
Yeah.
2 months ago, right? So I mean,
So
look at the upcoming schedule, right? Flagmont de Qua, they're taking them on Monday at Stady Burr. I don't like Nice to Meet You's chances of getting that W against Flagmont de Qua.
yeah, so regarding Nice to Meet You, they're probably the one team that should be struggling the most, just because there's a lot of players that never played co-ed, right? So you have Bakari that played. I think he played one season. You have Ethan that never played. You have Nicholas Piai that also never played co-ed. You have Rory, you never played co-ed. So it's a bit different when you're also doing play calling, right? Sometimes some guys you do feel comfortable when you're setting. Usually it's you're playing 2-2, right? So too low, too high, and then you have your rushing. So two guys, basically you're playing like a 1-4, 2-3, a one
Yeah,
two,
yeah, yeah.
whatever. So it's the point where it's a lot of match calling. So you don't really want your female going deep when she's playing that corner position when you have a guy that's doing like a straight through. It becomes a lot of situations where you kind of have to make sure your play calling is like you call or you're calling good plays. But if you're someone that's not kind of used to it and you're kind of just getting used to stuff, it becomes an issue, you know. So I think for them, that's probably one of the reasons why they're kind of struggling as much. And also, this is a brand new team, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
This is a brand new team, right? So as Ben as the I don't even know who's snapping for this team, to be honest with you. I have no clue. Maybe it's Alice Goulet. Maybe she's a snapper, or maybe Leia's a snapper. I'm not
I think
exactly
Leia would
sure.
be, yeah, she's only played one game, but I think Leia is a snapper. Maybe
I'm not
even
exactly
Ethan.
sure who's a snapper, but again, right? Ben is a quarterback that he kind of needs chemistry with you. You can't just kind of send Ben there,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, here, Ben, here's your team. Like, go win 7, 8 games, you know, and you're playing a new format. Everything's kind of new to him, new receivers. I think Ben played a Warrior for a bit. I think first year with Nicholas. They have Kai and Yi. That's also kind of new. And there's the females as well too, right? Like he's familiar with Leia, Ilois,
Louise.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think
Louise
she's kind
instead.
of new to him. I know Abigail is definitely new to him, and Alice Goulet is also new. Like so, it's stuff he's gonna be able. He's gonna have to adapt. He's gonna have to understand who's who's good at doing what. And I think moving forward, I think they're just gonna do a bit better. Schedule doesn't get any easier as you're kind of saying. The fact that they play Flag One next, but again, it's I don't think they're going to get worse. I think they're just going to get better from here. So it's going to be nice. It's going to be interesting to see how they perform when we get to see them like week 9 and week 10 to see where they're at.
All right, we'll see what happens.
For so that was co-ed 5v5. Yeah, co-ed 5v5 for rankings. We have Spicy Braves at 1, Flag 1 to Quad 2, Airbuds at 3, Maple Syrup at 4, ATS Dummies at 5, Got 'em at 6, Nice to Meet You at 7, and Team Rocket at 8.
What's the one game you're looking forward to this week?
For I'm looking forward for
Sorry.
um, no, not that. It's gonna be the first game that's gonna be playing, so it's gonna be ATW Dummies versus Maple
Okay.
Syrup. I think that's gonna be a very good game.
Okay.
You?
It's a good question. Um, I'm gonna say actually, I was gonna say Gundam against Airbuds. I feel like a lot of players on both sides, a lot of dynamic players, but I'm gonna go with Spicy Braves against Maple Syrup next Wednesday. So Marc-Andre Reeves, he's won Quarterback of the Year awards, made All-Star numerous times now, one of the faces of the leagues in terms of quarterbacks. I've never seen him play against the Braves. So I want to see Marc-Andre Reeves and his team Maple Syrup take on the Braves. I think it's going to be interesting to see.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
Marc-Andre Reeves against Joe Maeda.
All right. I think that's it for 5v5. So we go to 5v5 intermediate. So kind of just going to the schedule for 5 intermediate. The game that I chose that kind of looked at me the best is Team Quebec U18 played Flags Don't
Yeah,
Lie. So I think those are going to be the probably two top teams. I want to say, um, no, or one of the two top teams right now in this division. Team Quebec looks good though. They got their coaches, they have their players, they have a lot of playmakers, so they look good. Right now, it seems like they're kind of just destroying the league. They won their
yeah,
first game 38-6, second game 27-6, third game 47-7, and fifth game 36-21. So Flags Don't Lie is the first team that scored to score double digits on them. But Team Quebec U18 looks very good right now.
yeah, 100%. I score kept I score kept Team Quebec U16 this past Saturday in Broussard. They got beat 58-25 by Flag Avengers. So I hadn't seen Flag Avengers play until this past Saturday. So I came away, okay, I'm like, all right, he dropped a 60 bourbon early on this team. So Xavier Couture, he had like four incompletions. He had eight touchdown passes. He was kind of doing his thing. It was like that Isaiah Lard. Shout out to Isaiah. He brought his kids. It was freezing on Saturday. He came through, and so we had a chance to chop it up a little bit. Had three touchdowns in the game. He kind of took his foot off the gas. It was kind of a blowout. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm leaving." I think he said for the Dominican, like the next day. And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I
he's
hate
doing
you
the
guys."
same. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So he did his thing. But I came away. I was impressed with these kids, man. Um, so Dylan Roberts was a quarterback for Team Quebec U16. He was still on the rock. Timothy Marchand, he was good. There's some young kids. I mean, they kept the game close. The final score isn't reflective of how the game was. They kept it close for a bit. Second half, they kind of found their footing. They made a lot of nice plays. Like Joshua Ojo is a young brother I like to watch. I had a chance to talk to him a little bit during the game. There's another guy too, Edward Gervais. He's a quiet kid, but he made some plays. Olivier Lapointe. They had a lot of drop balls.
Mhm.
The U16 team. And they made mistakes that kids are gonna make, right? Concentration issues. They had the defense. They gave up a lot of long balls, so like guys not covering people, and they were arguing amongst each other. The coach was trying to get on them and just like try to keep them in the game and whatnot. But this is a team who they're gonna get better obviously with reps and with age, they got to grow up a little bit. But there's a team with some really young athletes, and the province of Quebec right now is a good. They're in good hands, I think, in the future with these guys for Team Quebec U16.
Yeah, well, it makes sense, especially when you're young too. Um, like that's, I feel like that's normal. You're nervous and it kind of
Yeah,
drops. Some of them are hard headed too. These again, you have to realize
100%. Yeah,
these are the top of the top. Like how they do their how they do their tryouts is that they have multiple kids come out. So you're looking at maybe like 100 kids, and they're going from this location, this location. So these kids they do have a chip on their back, right? And
of
some of them do think they're better than what they are. So sometimes it's
course,
also
yeah,
kind of
that is
a
for sure.
reality check, and then also it's a coaching point too, right? Some of these kids are not coached the way other coaches do it. So it's like, oh, you have to do this, and you don't feel comfortable doing
Mhm.
this, So there's all that, but when you get used to it, and you kind of when you buy into the system that they have for you, it only gets better from there.
Yeah, it's true. It's 100% true. Yeah, this is time, and maturity. That's what these kids need. They're gonna get it. Like I don't know the coach's name, and I apologize, but he's a good guy. I had a chance to talk to him during that game. And so even Nick Couture, so Xavier's dad, who we all love Nick, he is never one to not say positive things about his son. Look what he's doing. He's throwing eight touchdown passes. It's unbelievable. So on and so forth. We all know Nick's spiel. And he's a proud dad. He's proud of his kid as well. He should be. But even he was like saying, "Wow, some of these kids from this U16 team, they are making some plays." He would then say, "Oh, it's only because of this or because of that." But the fact that there were some plays that were being made it was nice to see he even had a chance. His eyes kind of popped, his ears kind of perked up a little bit. Like, hey, okay, all right, yeah. Like I
Mhm.
said, coaching and in this time, it's gonna work out well for these guys. Uh, Speaking of games, we're looking forward to. They're taking on Lay's benchwarmers. I believe the game is coming up. So I get it back on schedule here. That game is coming up next Saturday, so it'll be the 7th. I'm looking forward to seeing that game.
Yeah. So there's no
So kind
week.
of
There's
actually
no,
the whole division is kind of on a bye this
yeah.
week.
There's no
So
week 5 games
yeah,
for the thing. So we could talk about
yeah.
that next.
So it's a little teaser for next week. Yeah,
Yeah.
Quebec U16 against Les Benchwarmers next Saturday at Broussard.
Yeah. So just also to go down the rankings. Top 8 is only 8 teams. Team Quebec U18, Avengers, Flags Don't Lie. Number 4, Green Monsters. Number 5, Hungry Hippos. Number 6, Team Quebec U16. Number 7, Red Zone. And number 8, the 0-3, the Les Benchwarmers. And for the last division, we have men's 5v5 competitive.
Yes, sir. All right, so let's check this out.
So just looking at the
So 5v5
schedule.
comp, the cream of the crop here.
Yeah. So this week, last week, game that kind of looked out to me was, you know what? I want to say Blue. Okay, well, Raw Dogs versus Blue Dry 10.1. I got to watch that game. Blue Dry is not bad. Um, Again, are they going to struggle in the division? Yes. Are they going to score points in this division? Yes. Do they have some good play calling? Yes. We're going to have to change a couple of play callings because it's to a point where they made some plays, but when teams adapt to it, they're not going to be able to do the same thing. So they had 2 plays. I don't want to call them out to their plays. I'm going to keep it for my team, but I think they did the same play 3 times to get a big first down. And Raw Dogs didn't adapt, but their offense was playing so well that they didn't have to. But it's to a point where when you run that play once, you're not going to have in your pocket for 2, 3, 4 times. Teams are going to read it and it's going to be incomplete. So if Raw Dogs were able to adapt to what Blue Jay was doing, this game should have been probably 42 to, I want to say, 12. Blue Jay wouldn't have scored two touchdowns that they did. So shout out to them that they did make a jump. They're a team. They did
Yeah,
dominate in intermediate and stuff like that. So it's to a point where
yeah.
do they want to play versus all these not bad teams, but do they want to play versus these teams that they know they're going to beat and not feel that they have not feel as much being competitive, or do they want to make a jump and have every single week play versus teams that, if to be honest, with you, it's kind of
They
a
will be competitive.
win-win situation for them, right? And this is kind of something where I was kind of looking at, right, with basketball. So college basketball right now, it's going on. You have all these powerhouse teams. You know how the NIL and all these transfers and stuff like that. So you have all these powerhouse teams. I want to give one is, like, for example, you have Miami O. Miami O right now is 21-0, and
Yep.
in their schedule, they don't play any top 10 teams. They don't play any powerhouse 10 teams because no one
Yep.
wants to play against you. No one wants to play them. One is because they got so many good recruits to come play for them, for all the NI deals. Right? And two, well, sorry, rewind. They got a bunch of solid 4 stars, 3 stars to come play for them that played at Kansas, that played there. They're now playing at the school, right? But no
Yep.
powerhouse team, no top 10 team wants to play against them because they don't. There's no benefits of playing this team, right? As for them, so again, where I'm getting at for Blue Jay, no matter what, it's a win-win situation. One, if you lose, everyone's expecting you to lose, right? So you
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah.
But if you win, you have everything to gain, right? You lose, you get better because you're learning plays. You win, you're happy because you beat a top team. Same thing going on right
Yeah.
now in college football basketball, where you have this team and there's multiple teams, but this is one team that's kind of talked about, that people are talking about right now. They're 21-0, and no, and on their schedule, every team declined to play them because, one, why, as a team, we're a power 10 team, and if we play you and we lose our ranking, which doesn't do anything for us if we beat you. So if we beat you, it's to the point where everyone expects us to beat you, so it doesn't change anything in our ranking. It's like, oh yeah, well, Kentucky should have beat them. They're a MAC team, right? Or I think Miami is MAC team. But if for them, if they beat a powerhouse team, they have so much to gain. So it's kind of just comparison the reason why for a team like that to make that jump, because it's, okay, you're gonna play versus all these intermediate teams beat them, and probably only team that's probably going to have competition with you is going to be Team Quebec U18, where um it's probably going to be you and him in the finals, and after that you're probably going to blow out or you're going to win a lot of these games that you would have played against. Compared to now you're playing the Braves, you're playing the KGPs, you're playing FlagPlus, you're playing all these top teams where every game you're going in for battle. So just a shout out to them that's making that jump, but they are gonna have to adjust some of their plays because teams are gonna catch on, and you do play some of these teams twice. So, but
Yeah, listen, I can't argue if anything you said about Blue Dry 10.1, right? I mean, they're coming off of a intermediate championship, right?
mhm,
So and they went to the finals a couple of times, right? We talked about the battles between them and backfield penetration for the last couple of seasons. They've been to the top of the mountain, they conquered it. Move on, right? Go on and face these teams in 5v5 comp, right? You're only going to get better by doing it, right? They have a capable quarterback in Fred Junot. Shout out to Fred. Um, why not make the jump? You get beat a couple of times, right, for sure, but you're gonna get better, and they can make a push to the playoffs. And once you get to the dance, you never know, anything can happen, right? You're not
mhm.
gonna get better by continuously playing against the same team in the same division over and over and over. I'm talking to you, chaos, over and over and over. So Blue Giant said, "Let's make a jump," and credit to them for doing it.
So to be honest, they only go up from here. I don't see them getting any worse.
Yeah, yeah, true, true. That
So
is
yeah, that
true.
was my kind of my intake of my game of the week, and then and then for my interesting fact of the week and my game of the week is definitely going to be Flagmois versus Braves, and that's going to be Wednesday, February 4th.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you on that. Anyway, that's good. I thought the live's kind of leaning towards that one as well. So okay, so you have that. I'll give you that one. Then let me get off that a little bit. I want to go with
There's only one more you can go with. So
yeah. Oh yeah, Montreal Magic against No Regard. Listen, I mean, no regard. I mean, it's the same thing all the time with them. I mean, listen, a lot of great dudes offensive on this team. I like watching them play, but it is what it is. Right? I mean, they're a step below these top quality teams. You're a step below the Braves. You look at the rematch, right? Look at the game earlier this season. Same thing. Flag Maule, they got beat down by Flag Maule, only by 20. So I mean, I guess there's that, right? It is what it is. I think Montreal Magic, I don't expect anything different from them. Maybe against KGP elite, maybe it'd be a bit closer of a game. That's next Sunday the 8th. We'll see what happens. But I mean, it is what it is with no regard at this point. We all know what to expect.
Mhm. um, so high rankings. Men's competitive 5v5. Number one, Braves. Number two, Flag Number three, Montreal Magic. Number four, Party Crashers. Number five, Raw Dogs. Number six, KGP. Number seven, Naproxen. Number eight, Blue Dry 10.1. And number nine, we have No Regard.
All right. So I think that pretty much wraps it up. We've done women's three all the way to one, co-ed three all the way to co-ed one. We did the 5v5 co-ed, and now we finished the regular 5v5 intermediate and competitive. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it for us for all the divisions in this second episode for week two.
Mm-hmm. That's
Any
about
any
right.
final thoughts?
No, just for everybody else, kind of just a reminder. I know it's the end of the video, so maybe probably not a lot of people are going to see this, but just a reminder. Make sure you get your games played to be playoff eligible. If you have a doctor's note, if you have an injury, something like that, make sure we get it earlier on. Don't be late.
Yeah,
Don't be that person that you have a game on Monday. Let's say when it comes to playoffs, you have a game on Monday, you're something on Tuesday, and then
yeah, exactly.
becomes a big issue. Just get ahead of the time. Also, for teams that are kind of showing up late for their games, make sure you guys are on time. I know the weather last weekend was kind of a situation with the storm and everything like that, icy roads. Make sure you guys prepared because games are going to start. Refs are kind of if your game starts at 8, it's probably going to start at 8. So I know I think last week I heard a team like, oh, we're not ready to start yet. It was like 8:01. The ref's like, hey, well, it's 6-0. Like, I think after like 2-3 minutes, like, hey, it's 6-0. So make sure you guys are prepared like that. And also, yeah, no, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, leave early. But you gotta, even scorekeepers, we gotta leave early to get there for your games. Leave early as well. Try to beat the traffic. You don't want to drive like a maniac in the snow. God knows the roads are horrible, so just leave a little early, get there on time, get your stretch in, and you'll be good to go. Yeah. And so we're here from Ali Reza right now, our producer, LeBron James fan number one. If you have any videos, anything you want to share to the podcast, highlight today's videos, interviews, anything you want, send it our way. We'll get it on the podcast for you. And like we said in episode one with the 6v6 for the men's division, same thing for the ladies and for co-ed. If you want to come on to the podcast, if you want to come on and say why you shouldn't be making that jump to women's one, or why you shouldn't be making that jump to women's two, or why you don't want to have the jump from co-ed three to co-ed one to co-ed two, so on and so forth, come on to the podcast, man. We want to get you guys on, guys and ladies. We want to get you on. This podcast is for you guys, right? We're paid to be here, but we're doing it for you guys. We want to get you on here. We want to hear your voice. So please come on to the pod and we can chop it up. You can let us know how right we are or how wrong we are. I just want to give a teaser for next week's episode. Obviously, next week is the Super Bowl. So Quaysie and I will be giving our Super Bowl predictions next week's episode. So make sure to tune in not to miss that. A lot of big games. We talked about games that we're looking forward to this week. We're going to recap some of those next week. And again, if there's other things you want us to talk about, feel free to, again, get on here and let us know. Hit up the Facebook groups. Let us know on Instagram. The stuff that you feel that we're not talking about, that we should be. Let us know.
Yep. Exactly everything what Brent said.
Hey. Thank you everyone for tuning in. It's been the latest episode of the FPF First and Goal podcast. He's Quaysie, I'm Brent. Thank you to Ali Reza for making all this happen. We'll see you next week. Stay warm, stay safe, stay out of the snow. February, we're about to say hello to you. Goodbye to January. We'll see you next week. Peace.